Good evening, I'm Giuseppe Basile. I'm the analyst and trading mentor you can find at the website www.fibstalker.com. I also post regularly on Twitter using the @fibstalker nickname. Good evening, today is Tuesday, April the 15th, 2014, and it's 10:30 p.m. time in Toronto. Good evening, and in this video I'm going to review for you 4 markets I follow. This video is valid, it's a daily update valid for tomorrow, April the 16th, 2014, and the 4 markets are the Euro-Dollar, the S&P500 E-mini, the dollar index, and the gold mini future. So let's start from the Euro-Dollar. You will remember that in this market there was a violation of shorts just on top of this area of support, and the other support started at 137.22 with a stop below 136.65. I mentioned that if we saw price below this level, then I would have anticipated a retest at least of these lows, 134.80 here. That never happened. So once we broke this sequence of measure move lower, the measure move higher started, and in the last few days you will remember that I mentioned 2 levels I would watch. One would have been the extension long, which just failed today, this 137.97, and the other level would have been the all the way halfway back, and there is we don't need to guess what is the level, because the market is always telling us what the level is, and we can use the fib stalking technique to study the sequence of measure move on the 15 minutes here. So excuse me, as you can see here as you can see here, the support came at this 137.90, and an area of support that if it keeps working, so if price never moves below 137.63, it's going to push price higher into the first target here and potentially higher. So that's the area and the time now that we have to study the sequence of measure move lower, and actually I'm going to do that in a minute on the 15 minute chart. I just want to show here that on the 4-hour chart here, that we have this all the way halfway back from highs to lows, and actually price traded to the peep here to that level. So you will remember that on this time frame, and that's something that we can see on the 15 minutes time frame, we had this sequence of measure move with price bringing price into first and second target here, and price then did not make it, or let's see if price did. We could consider then price retracing. There are 2 different way we can read this price action here. Price retraced all the way halfway back from these highs to lows, and eventually hit the first target again here, and then we got the confirmation today. So 138.16 would have been the confirmation on the upside after testing this all the way halfway back. However, there is also another way of reading this market, and we had an extension here, so we could trace from lows to lows, and as you can see, we would have got a violation here, but still price was able to get into this second target. The safer way of looking at it is probably looking at the today violation here, and after violating on the upside this 138.17 level, price came back to test the all the way halfway back, as you can see here. So this would have been another entry, and if tomorrow price is still around this 138.11, this could be a potential trade here. You have always to mind the risk. The risk here is just few pips, between just 6 to 7 pips here. But you have to be very, very careful and always mind the risk, and this could become a loss with price going to retest again this 137.88. On the daily time frame, you will remember that I indicated the 137.62 as a level of stop, and for a good reason here, because as you can see, price actually retraces the all the way halfway back. So next stop for this price is going to be previous size here, particularly 138.10. Moving to the SP500 here, I was looking for a retracement into the all the way into the next measure move here, and however the next measure move failed. As we can see here, it failed on Monday, on Tuesday here, which is this green bar, and price now at the open of Wednesday is continuing higher. So at the moment, so of course price went to retrace this 1808 and then broke that level, but we still need to see who's gonna win this battle here. There's another 1848 level. So here, if the market just stalls here and is never able to go above 1858, 59 here, there is a possibility for a continuation lower and break this 1789, actually bringing price into this 1782 here. So this is a possibility. And we need to keep that in mind. Moving to the dollar index, you will remember that we have a number of traces here, and while on the euro dollar the euro was able to go back, was much weaker, the euro was able to move back into the all the way halfway back short, but as we can see, the dollar index couldn't make it into this 80.08 here, 80.10 area, but rather traded right that the corresponding setup that we had on the euro long, as you can see here, because price was never able to make it above this 80.07. So there is a possibility for the dollar index now to just continue lower from these levels. And if we break 80.07, we have to remember that we still have another area of resistance for the dollar index, and it started just at that level, and only by breaking above 80.24, I would temporarily change my idea about the dollar index, and as a consequence also in relation to the other pairs. But at the moment I'm still seeing weakness here, so it's important to monitor this 80.07 level, and still remember that above this level there is another area of resistance. Moving to the gold daily chart here, something interesting happened in gold here. And it happened all very, very quickly. As soon as price got into this area, into the start of this area of resistance 1334, which I've indicated now more than 1 week ago, price just broke down again and went to retest this 1285. So at the moment this market is really it's very undecided. There is a move on the downside that broke the all the way halfway back from lows to highs, which means that bulls were not able to support this price, not where they should have supported it, 1304. But however, the larger level 1285 was able to support price, at least so far. Now, if we see the bulls coming in again and break this 1309, then we are going to have the actual formally a condition of consolidation. So we will see this market continuing moving to continue moving laterally between this 1298 and 1309 area, not necessarily the levels, but within this area. And we could make the case that the shorts didn't trade here, because I was looking for 1334 to be tested, but price went high to 1331, so it's quite a big front run here. But as we can see, clearly bears were very interested in selling this market, but bulls again proven themselves here, and we saw this spike here. So if we get back into 1285, we need to see whether there will be participation on the upside again. If we break the level that I showed you before, we are going to start a consolidation from on top of this level of support, an area of support starting at 1285, and as shorts this level 1334.20 has not traded, I'll be more inclined at the moment to give more credibility to longs. Unfortunately, this market, we cannot tell anything about this market at the moment. Congratulations if you took the trade and the entry that I've indicated last week, and I remembered that as soon as we would get above 1304, there was the possibility for a 30 points move. Yeah, we basically got that, and the reason for that is that the sequence of measure move short from highs was actually interrupted here. So be patient in this market. There's no need to rush, and we will get eventually another opportunity. We'll see what happens around this 1285. I want to go back before I close to the euro dollar. I want to show you, as promised, on the 15 minutes what's really going on and how we can actually model this price. First of all, after we saw the lows here, you can see that there was a first measure move from lows to highs, and price held this 138.06 level here, and it's now pushing higher, and the first target is going to be 138.42 on the 15 minutes. As per the sequence of measure move lower here, I'm gonna look at this first trace here, and this broke price into first and second target, so it was an extension, and actually the extension is traced from lows to lows here. It was broken here during the Asian session here, so I do not consider this break, also because we didn't test the lows to highs here. So we didn't test the area of support, and I want only to look at this violation after the area of support as traded. So we saw the price moving again into the first and second target here, and it was only at that point that the next extension failed, and it failed, as we can see here, with price above 138.05 only after price tested the larger 137.88 level. So this is a valid long here, and I've also provided on FX Street a potential entry, a swing entry, which is being respected at the moment. And I see this price moving to previous highs and potentially higher into 140.1 and 140.80. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's useful for you to understand how some classes of algorithmic trading are acting on these markets these days. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great evening and a great trading day tomorrow, Wednesday, April the 16th. Bye bye now.